but your budget can't handle it? Are you worried about raising funds to be able to acquire properties of your choice? Good news! Gtext Homes Dubai has provided an opportunity to get a loan for the purchase of your properties. Here in Gtext Homes Dubai, we help you to get an affordable, luxurious property to live in or to rent out for constant cash flow, IROI, capital appreciation, monthly rental income. We are also into properties and facility management, so you don't have anything to worry about. Do you want us to help you access a loan to buy your desired properties? Call the number showing on your screen. Gtext Homes Dubai, we don't just sell properties, we help you build a future.
Alright, so we'd start with the basic introduction. So I'm Prashi and this is my colleague Raj, and we work with a company called Lion Mortgage Consultants, and we've been in this industry for about a decade. So we specialize in mortgages. So do you want to continue further?
Yeah, so there are like 4 types of mortgage we deal in. We deal in every type of mortgage, but mainly there are 4 types of mortgage in UAE. So first is new purchase. Whenever when the buyer directly deals with the developer, it is called as first purchase. Then resale. Resale is something which when a buyer has already bought the property from the developer and another buyer wants to buy the property from the buyer, that's what we call as resale. And third is balance transfer. Balance transfer means that for a buyer who wants to transfer his salary to another bank for better interest rates, that's what we call as balance transfer. And the fourth is...
Alright, so just to give you a summary of everything, you guys are working in real estate, right? What you guys do is you guys go to a client and you pitch a property. Sometimes the clients must be cash buyers, or the other times they might ask for mortgages. So what you guys do is, if a customer is asking for mortgage, then there are not a lot of things that you guys need to know. As a real estate agent, you just need to know few things. So firstly, you need to know whether he has down payment money or not. So for residents who are living in UAE, the down payment money is 20% of whatever the property value is. Now, just to get the calculations easier, for example, you guys are pitching a property worth 1 million dirhams. So client should have at least 200,000 dirhams as his savings. At least to put in something. Yeah, rest can be done as mortgage.
That's for residents.
Correct. That's for residents. Yeah. For non-residents, approximately, if I calculate minimum, then 30% should be there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the major difference between a non-resident and a resident. Residents get more preference because obviously they are residents of UAE. So for residents, there are again 2 categories. One is the salaried people and the other one is the investors or business people. So for salaried people, there are basic documents that are required. That is 6 months of bank statement. That is extremely necessary. If they cannot provide 6 months of bank statements, then we cannot proceed. Salary certificate. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And basic passport, KYC, Emirates ID and visa. That's also needed. Now the things, all these documentations and all, we would be doing, we would be taking care of. What you guys need to know in majority is, if a client, you got a salaried client, then the minimum salary of that client should be above 10,000 dirhams.
Yeah. Above 10,000.
10,000 dirhams.
For
salary.
For salary, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Salary of 10,000 dirhams.
Correct. Correct. It should be above 10,000 dirhams. Otherwise, if I'm earning 8,000, then I can't buy a property.
Yeah, right.
Like it just doesn't make sense. How will I pay? I'll have a lot of bills and utilities in head to pay for my mortgage. So the minimum salary should be 10,000 dirham cap. It can be more than that as well. The more the merrier. But in UAE, the minimum salary criteria is 10,000 dirhams. So that's the thing. Now coming to non-residents, the minimum salary for the non-residents should be 15,000 dirhams. Whatever the conversion rate is, whatever everything is. So minimum it should be 15,000. 15,000 also only one bank does.
Okay.
So the more the
Okay.
merrier. The more the salary, the more he's earning, she is earning, it's beneficial for us. That's what. For example, I'm an Indian. I have a bank account in India, and whatever. So in India, the currency is rupees. For example, in UAE, Dubai, the currency is dirhams, correct? So whatever I'm earning in India, calculate if I convert it into dirhams, it's 15,000 dirhams.
Yeah,
Okay.
it must be more than 15.
Yeah, it's 15,000 dirhams. So what I meant by one bank is, in Dubai, there is only one bank which does non-residence loan with 15,000 salary. Most of the bank do it with 20,000 and plus salary. But there's this one bank which does with 15,000 salary. So that's the minimum that we can go, not below that. You know what, the documentation and all also you don't have to worry. Yeah, everything we'll provide you.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so again, you guys have a lot of Nigerian clients. So what I'll do is, I'll start with non-residents, yeah, so that you have basic information about non-residents first. First and the foremost important thing you guys should know about non-residents is that the documentations that they require to be mentally prepared. Number one is the passport copy. Okay. Number two is 6 months bank statement.
Okay.
Last 6 months, that is. Number three is the liability details, if they have any. Liability, any loan, credit card, whatever, if they have any. Fourth is the address proof, where they're staying.
Okay.
So address proof can contain of electricity or phone bill, etc., which has the address written down on it. Any sort of things. Yeah. And the fifth thing would be the, employment documents. If they're salaried, then we would need a salary certificate. And if they're self-employed, then we need the ownership of the business documents. Simple as that. Yeah. These are the documentations. Now coming to the age. So in UAE, the maximum, if the client is salaried, then the maximum age is 65 years old.
Okay.
For self-employed, it's 70.
70.
Self-employed is, I'm running a business. If he's more than that, then he cannot get the loan. For example, I'm 30 years old. I run my own business. So I have time. I can ask for the loan. But if I'm 65 years old, then I don't have time.
Yeah.
I'm done. So I can't get mortgage. That's what I mean by the maximum age. Yeah. So now coming to the interest rates. Now, UAE bank is connected with the Fed, US bank basically. Fed is crashing, of course interest rate is gonna go higher. So at the moment, the average interest rate, because there are hundreds of banks in UAE, so I cannot really give the bifurcation of each and every bank. So for an average, for a non-resident, it's 4.5% to 5.5%. There was a time in January, in fact, when COVID was there, Expo was also there. So interest rates for non-residents was 2.2.
Very low.
There was a point when we were doing mortgages like this. Each and every person who was coming because of the lowest interest rates in the market, they were buying property in bulk. I had just for reference, I'll share one of. There's this company, I was connected with them, and they had an investor client. So the investor came in, bought 10 properties simultaneously, gave each of the property for rent. After 6 months, sold all the properties, got good cash against it, then bought again property. So this is his business.
Yeah.
That's what he do. Buys property, rents it out. Buys, rent, buys. That's what he do. And he got it for 10 properties. He got 2.2 interest rate, which was amazing. And everything that I just said was non-residents. Yeah. Now I'm coming on to residents. Again, we'll start with do you want to explain them the list of documentations for resident?
Yeah, so for resident, the main requirement is KYC. In KYC, we segregate them as passport, Emirates ID and visa.
Okay.
After that, if the person is salaried, we require a salary certificate
Okay.
and 6 months bank statement. That's for salaried. And for self-employed, for a businessman, we need ownership documents which require trade license. You can write that, trade license,
Okay.
MOA and share certificate of how much share they own of that company.
Yeah.
That's usually written in the MOA, but sometimes it's not, so we
Yeah.
would require the
So,
separate
yeah.
copy. So basically, trade license and MOA is enough. Share certificate sometimes
Yeah.
it's written in the MOA or the trade license, so we don't need it separately.
And
1 year.
1 year, 12 month
Company
bank
statement.
Yeah.
1 year.
1 year
12
company
months.
statement.
Company
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 statement.
statement, not personal. Company
Yeah.
statement. It's required.
The only difference between a salaried client and a self-employed client is the statements. Salary residence is passport. Okay, I'll tell you. Residence and self-employed residence and salaried residence. Passport, visa, Emirates ID is mandatory to prove that they are residents. Yeah. Now coming, the only differentiation between salaried and self-employed is going to be the statements. For salaried, we need only 6 months of statement.
Yeah.
For self-employed, we need 1 year company statement.
Company statement. MOA.
So for salary clients, we need salary certificate to prove the employment. For self-employed people, we need trade license to prove that they are self-employed.
Self-employed.
It's basically proving that, yeah, we do what we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for salaried people, the average interest rates are going to range up to 3.5 to 4.5. 3.5
3.5
to 4.5.
for
Self-employed, it's 4 to 5.